Hi, and welcome. My name is Johnny Fergan. I'm from All Total Coaching. What I want to talk to you today is about social structure all over the world. No matter who you are, wherever you are. We all live in a social structure, regardless of your race, religion, culture, background, or age. But before we go into that, I'd like to bring your attention to our program. It took me 12 years to create. And I'm happy and honored and privileged and humbled to present you the videos and our program that created How to Be a Man, What Your Father Never Taught You. In this program, we explain in details, in 6 hours, what is manhood, how to be a man, what it takes to be a man, and goals, women, relationships and sex, and relationship with other men and yourself. The media, manipulation and indoctrinations via the movies, health, food and exercise and why it's so important, money, wealth, the basics you need to know how to make you, yes you, wealthy and what's stopping, value, social, why it's so important and why you need to know the value aspects, how to overcome depression and fear that so many people suffer today on this, and very few people take the time to talk about this issue, and happiness and fulfillment. So today we're going to talk about social structure. What is a social structure? Wherever you are in the world, no matter what's your background, we all are in a social structure. As a kid, your status is low. You're dependent on your parents, you're dependent on your teachers, you're dependent on them to give you board, sleep, food, clothing, etc., shelter, and etc., the medical, etc. So the lowest rank, it's not that you're inadequate, it's just the way it is when you're a child. When you grow older, when you go into a job, obviously you start at the lowest job. Or if you're studying in university, you're still at the lowest, not the lowest as a child because you still can do things, but you're low at the ladder. When you still finish university, your status socially is a little bit higher, but in that job that you're going to go to, your rank is still low till you go up the ladder, slowly but surely. The highest social structure in that particular environment at work is your boss, because he has got the power, or she's got the power, or whatever, to dismiss you, or put you on a contract, or to discipline you, etc., etc. Now, nobody likes to be in a low social structure. If, for example, you rent a property, you are dependent on your landlord by paying him to leave you and let you stay in that place as long as you pay the adequate rent that you perceive. So all of us come into this world as a low status. All of us. Now, you may inherit a lot of money and your parents, yes, that may elevate your status a little bit higher. But also you can have a lot of money and your status could be low because you have no social skills, or you don't know how to talk to people, or you lack confidence. And that money can elevate you to some degree, but it cannot solve all your problems socially, because some people have a lot of money but they're socially inept, and some people don't have money but they're socially savvy. So their social value is more higher. Wherever you go in the world, if you enter a new social group, your status is low. But over time, you can elevate that status higher. Same thing with a job, same thing with relationships, with everything. And no matter what your status is in a particular group, whether it's work, relationship, these things change over time. And you have to be vigilant to keep and maintain your value. One of the things that people demean their value on social media is by talking about things that have got no significance whatsoever. Or they talk about mundane things that have got really no value whatsoever, and they talk about things like, I went to the gym, I went to this, I did this or that. This lowers your status socially. And the more you do so, the more your value drops. It's not you shouldn't post from time to time, but be aware that what you post doesn't demean and devalue your social status in the eyes of others. Another thing that will devalue your social value, if you keep on fighting with people on Facebook, on Twitter, etc., 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 over time, people that can continue to complain and complain, their value drops significantly over time. So all of us, at one stage or another, have been in the low ranks of the social status, or it's where you're living, your work, your social groups, anything. But it doesn't mean you cannot go up the ladder. If you open a business and you're an employer, your status in that business is higher. But if you go to a conference and you're one business out of 100, the ones that are presenting their status in that particular area is higher. All of us come from a low status, but it doesn't mean you cannot elevate your status over time. As long as you're savvy, you know what to say, when to say, you keep your mouth shut and you keep striving. And those people that think they know it all will never succeed, no matter what. And you have to keep learning again and again and again and again, because things change. We live in a world that changes constantly. Whatever was appropriate on the net 5 years ago, today no longer exists or no longer is relevant. And in 5 years, even less, probably 3 years, the things that are applicable today will not be applicable in a few years. So you have to constantly upgrade yourself and make yourself better in the eyes of others. But more important, and that's the most important thing out of this talk today, is to elevate yourself socially, mentally, physically, and mentally in your own eyes. Because if we do not have value socially for our own selves, in our social structure, in our own eyes, how can we manifest that into a social structure that you come into, or you come into a job or a new environment? And your value, my dear friends, in your eyes will manifest over time in the eyes of other people. I really, really hope this has been beneficial to you and you learned today a few things. Like I said earlier, our program that I worked diligently for 12 years, How to Be a Man, What Your Father Never Taught You. This will change your life. Manhood, what is a man? How to be a man. Women, relationships and sex and relationships with other men. The media, manipulation, indoctrination via the movies. Health, food, exercise and why it's so important. Money, wealth, what you need to know, how to make you rich. Value, why is it so important? And why you need to know what is high value and low value. How to overcome depression and fear. That's the biggest phenomenon in society. Very few people talk about, yet I talk about this. Happiness and fulfillment. It's for sale today for $99 US. You've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. This will change your life, I guarantee it. I stand by my work, and those people that already bought it, thank you so much. And you know what it's doing to your life at this particular moment. All links below. Thank you very much for listening. As always, you know who I am. I'm your friend.